Hello and welcome to Gaia Blooming GPS. This is where we pull cards, oracle, and tarot to help you navigate the week ahead. And I'm here with Nicole Oman, who will be here in a second. But we are pulling cards and building to a full moon, super moon in Pisces. And you know, the full moon is always a time where we're releasing stuff, and Pisces has this, I don't know, it has a grip on this spiritual energy. So, you know, we're going to be working our way into that. So we're starting this week with the moon shifting into Capricorn, helping us ground in and, you know, get in our bodies before we go into this otherworldly, mystical, magical place. And this full moon, or not the full moon, the Capricorn moon is actually connecting to the sun, which is newly in Virgo. So for this, I pulled two very earthy cards. The first card I pulled is experiencing. And I love this card. I think this card is telling you, get in nature. Feel nature. Feel your grounded energy in through you. Be present with yourself. The other card I pulled is existence. This is the card of the magician telling you, be present with yourself. Recognize what you're putting out there. You know, the magician card, I always look at kind of a manifestation card that you bring into being. And especially with this earth energy, you're bringing things into the physical. So be present with yourself. Be grounded in yourself so you know what you're bringing in. Because otherwise, you know, your thoughts are all over the place. You're all over the place and suddenly things are coming in. You're like, I didn't want that. It's like, oh, wait, it was there. The other card I pulled, which I think is really great with this manifestation energy of this earth energy, is Arakira, blossoming. You're just getting started. Have patience with yourself in the process. Don't give up. You know, and that is kind of that Capricorn energy. Just keep going, keep going. Everything's happening, you know, because it's gonna be an interesting week. We've got a few shifts and changes, and that full moon, I feel like it's gonna be a strong one.
Yeah. So what I pulled for the Capricorn moon, the first one is the inner voice card. Now, this is the card of the high priestess, which is funny because the magician and the high priestess, they're kind of the counterparts of each other. So it's kind of that masculine magician, that existence card, and then the inner voice. Now, the inner voice is telling you to go look inside, to really listen to that still quiet voice. And the high priestess is the woman that sits in between both realms. So there's, you know, the moon energy, that Capricorn, in reality. So also I picked this slowing down card, which in regular tarot would be the King of Pentacles, which is a very Capricorn energy. So the slowing down in the inner voice is saying, before that you move forward, you have to go. The wind is knocking my doors around. So the wind agrees. So you have to go within before you move forward. Slow down, just like Arakira says, you know, be patient with the process. It doesn't have to happen right away. And that Capricorn energy is like, yes, slow and steady wins the race. Just put one physical step in front of the other. Then the other card from the Return to Spirit deck I got was Contact. Now, the Contact card, you can think of it as like contact from other realms with the inner voice, but it also means making a new contact that will help you move forward in the long run. So this Monday, if you're feeling like you needed to get in contact with somebody, or somebody gave you a phone number of like, hey, you should get a hold of this person, they might be able to help you out. Today is the day to call them up and start making those connections, making those contacts, and really starting to, you know, put your step forward in building the people that might be able to bring you up and help you along the way.
I love that. That's cool. All right. So our next thing that's going to be happening, our next transit, is on Wednesday. The sun is going to conjunct Jupiter. This only happens once a year, and Jupiter expands anything it touches. So it's expanding the energy of the sun, of the vitality. And, you know, sun in Virgo, Jupiter and Virgo, we're really looking at how this affects our physical body. I also want to mention this is happening at 3 degrees, which is that Jupiter degree of expansion. So this is going to be a very expansive day. And because of that, of course, the first card I pulled is control. I think if there's something that gets in the way of our expansion, it is that lockdown control on what we have, who we think we are, what's coming in, what we're letting go of. That's my other card that I pulled, letting go. And so that's what I really feel like within this. You know, Jupiter is this card of abundance, of blessings. And a lot of times there's stuff that needs to be let go of before we can allow that in. And a lot of times it's just a matter of control. I feel this very strongly for this week. This is the week that I am letting go of my house and many other things, releasing that control so I can really bring in blessings, you know, that are meant for me. And this is the other part of it, patience. You know, sometimes we let go and we want the control of having that instant results. And especially with this earth energy that we're moving into, it's like, I want to see to believe. And this saying, patience. Everything takes its due time. Everything needs its, I want to say regurgitation, gestation period. That's what it is, not regurgitation. It's just whatever. Let it go, regurgitate, and gestate, you know, all those words. So.
Wow, okay.
And from the goddesses, Artemis, guardian, you and your loved ones are safe and spiritually protected. But what I really actually like here is she's aiming. She's taking aim. And that's what I'm really taking from this picture is take aim. That's, you know, the Jupiter thing. Jupiter rules Sagittarius. Take aim at your desires. Do it with your body. Do it with what you're releasing and what you're bringing in. Let every step that you take mentally, physically, emotionally, let it be guiding you into the way that you want to move in your life. Nicole?
So I picked a couple of them because I am a Virgo. So, you know, this Jupiter Sun conjunction really affects me as well because I am a Virgo. And so this will highlight me a little more. And if you guys are Virgos out there or have a Virgo rising or something of that nature, so, you know, look where Virgo is in your chart. See what is being highlighted. See what is being expanded. And if you don't know, you could call Mimi and she could tell you what's going on. So the first thing that I picked was the receptivity card with the no thingness card with the maturity card, which is the Ace of Pentacles, which Virgo is an earth sign and Pentacles is ruler of the earth. So this is what I get from these cards. Receptivity. Start to really receive what's coming in for you from the nothingness, from the void. Come and allow it to really, and I love the card that Mimi picked, the patience card with the pregnant woman. So don't think that just because, you know, the sun conjunct Jupiter, it's like it needs to be here now. It might be, I know this is, you know, this might be the conception period. So with the receptivity card, it's like, yeah, once you conceive, your belly is going to expand and you're going to have a baby in 9 months when we're still in, you know, Jupiter and Virgo. So it will probably, the expansion will happen, whatever you wanting to create, whether that is a baby or whether that's something, you know, more creative or a relationship or a job or a business. Know that you're going to receive something this Wednesday that might grow into something bigger down the road. With this Ace of Pentacles, it probably, the maturity card, it probably will be something connected to finances with money. It also is going to take maturity. I'm going to go back to the pregnancy thing. You have 9 months to get ready for a child. And you could pretend that it's not coming and not set up a nursery or get yourself ready. But this is saying get yourself ready. Mature, mature, mature. This is a maturation process for the best. So if you want to bring in more money, like set it up. set up the nursery for it, you know, set up a bank account, set up your support, go get QuickBooks, whatever you need to do it in that Virgo mindset. It is Virgo. So then the other two I got was vibrational and knowledge. So during this time, you're going to have more opportunities to share your vibrational gifts. And that could be, you know, sharing your voice, sharing your art, sharing your gifts of whatever that may be. Sharing your knowledge is the most important thing. And whatever way you decide to share that is up to you. But that's probably, I think you're going to receive knowledge, but I'm also thinking that you're going to receive an opportunity to share the knowledge as well.
Awesome. All right, so for the next, we have two things happening on Thursday. We have the moon shifting into Aquarius, and then we have Mercury shifting into Libra. So I'm going to start with moon into Aquarius. And I love the cards I pulled for this. The first card I pulled is moment to moment, which I actually think is great advice for Aquarius. I think Aquarius is one of the energies, it's this electrical energy. It's really fast. It's here, there, here, there. This is saying, hey, slow down. This goes back to Nicole's first card from Moon and Capricorn. Slow down, be present, and make room for play. Playfulness. Aquarius does not want to, Aquarius is so not conventional in any sense of the word conventional. So playfulness, have some time for enjoyment. You know, this is going to be this period, the sign before Pisces is Aquarius. So we're going to be feeling that energy of the building to the full moon. We're going to be feeling the stuff that we need to let go of. Keep some time in your moment to moment for play, to enjoy yourself. And I love it. Look at this. He's like letting go of like these bubbles. He's like, hey, freedom, fun. This clown, think of this through this moon in Aquarius as stuff is coming up to be let go. The other card I pulled is Ishel, medicine woman, and you're a channel for divine healing power. And, you know, again, Aquarius is so electrical in nature. Can you bring in this energy, transmute it, let it heal you, let it move you? I think playfulness is actually one of the most healing things that we can do for ourselves. So channel in, allow that playfulness to be channeled in and expressed in your moment to moment with this moon in Aquarius as we're building to this full moon, super moon. Nicole?
So moon in Aquarius. So I picked some interesting cards for this particular moon. So I did the moon and Mercury and Libra separately.
Mm-hmm.
I'll start with the moon and Aquarius energy that I got. I got the burden and compromise. And so what I'm getting here is there seems to be a burden on you. And it could be self-induced. You might not be asking for help, or you might just be really holding the weight in your relationship, in your household, whatever that may be. And there's two ways to look at this compromise card. You either need to come to a compromise with the people in your household or in your workspace or wherever you're feeling compromised. That you either need a compromise and you need to help more, or they need a compromise with you, but you need to find a new commitment to each other. Okay? So because I think what's happening is because of this uncommitment that you're having, whether it's commitment to yourself or a commitment with the other person, you're compromising yourself. You're compromising your truth. So on this Thursday with this moon in Aquarius, it is time to recommit yourself to something else, because whatever's happening right now is a burden and it's not working. So it may either be you need to make, like you are in a relationship and you haven't committed yet, make that commitment, or get rid of the relationship and make that commitment to yourself. It's something of that nature, okay? I don't know what it is, but that's what I got. So the Mercury shifting into Libra. So what Mimi was telling me is like, this is going to be a period that we're going to get run over again too. So this is going to be with this Mercury retrograding coming in. So what we're learning with this Mercury and Libra is going to be very interesting, and it's going to reflect on the cards that I just pulled. And it is the breakthrough card and the take flight. So through this, and because they're connected today with this compromise and this burden and this commitment, what happens is whatever you're recommitting to, it's going to be a big breakthrough in your life. And you're really going to be able to take new flight. You're going to be able to have new beginnings, new transformations, take flight with all these like butterflies. Yeah, that's transformation. So breaking through, it might be a boundary or stop compromising yourself or whatever that is going to be more powerful than you think it's going to be. And because it is going to be a bit of a longer drawn out lesson, because we're kind of slingshotting back and forth with the Mercury retrograde, you might have a little more time to do it. But I think the initial bam is going to be on Thursday, where it's like, and then you're going to start going, oh, there's wings there. All right, well, that's weird. How do I use these now? And then you're going to have a little more time to figure out how those work. And maybe even getting out of that cocoon, you know. So it's that transitional period.
That's cool. All right, so I pull for Mercury in Libra. I haven't done my cards yet. No, it's totally fine. It's good. They all work together. The first card I pulled is actually my favorite card. This card is such a Libra card. This is the card of harmony. If there's a word that describes Libra's greatest desire, it is harmony. And the thing I always say about harmony is that don't sacrifice your own inner harmony, your own inner peace for harmony out there, because it never really works. Whether it's energetically you're creating a storm within you, or building resentment within you, or you're overstressed, Libra, because you've taken on too much, you're walking your neighbor's monkey. I pull this card all the time, and like the monkey's my favorite feature. I really relate to this monkey. Or, you know, walking my neighbor's monkey in my life to create harmony. This is the time during Mercury and Libra, which is going to be, you know, we're moving into the shadow tomorrow of Mercury retrograde. So this whole time of Mercury and Libra, we're really going to be processing these lessons of relationships and how we balance them. So listen to yourself. If you're getting stressed out, how are your needs not being met? How can you integrate the lessons? And you know, this Mercury in Libra, Mercury retrograde in Libra is going to be really interesting, because we're also moving into eclipse period. After this full moon, the next moon is going to be an eclipse, and the next moon will be another eclipse. And these eclipse periods are with Libra and Aries, that energy of the self and relationship. So we're integrating our relationship lessons within ourselves. We are finding harmony within ourselves. If you are looking for harmony in your partner, in your friendships, that's great. We want harmony. It's a great thing. But if you're, I don't know, selling yourself short to keep that harmony, this is going to be a huge lesson for you during this time of Mercury and Libra. Listen to your stress levels. I love Deepak Chopra's, I don't know, what he says stress is, and it's your needs not being met. Don't be afraid to ask for help. And speaking of that, fast from the goddesses, independence. Your independence is a foundation for your strength and success. And I take that back to that harmony card. Harmony is truly found in the self, in the independence of the self. Find it in here, and it will spread.
So we're going into the shadow period. Do you want to go ahead and do the shadow period first, or do you want me to do it?
I'll go ahead and do it, unless you want to dive in. Whatever. All right, I'll do it then. Okay, so Mercury. Mercury goes into its shadow officially on Friday the 28th. We just moved into Libra, and now it's like, hello, shadow. So shadow period is the time before Mercury goes retrograde. Basically, shadow period is where we start the lessons that Mercury is going to retrograde over. So Mercury is going to basically retrograde all the way back to, the beginning of Libra. And the first card I pulled is the morality card. And this card is very appropriate to Libra. I find Libra's ruled by Venus. Libra loves the perfection. It loves things to be pretty, harmonious, good. And so sometimes, again, this goes with the harmony card, we lock ourselves up and squeeze the juice out of ourselves to just keep it pretty. And meanwhile, again, we're stressing ourselves out, not being true to ourselves. I feel like have the courage to be yourself. Let go of all those shoulds. Let go of that need to be perfect, because it's an illusion. There's no such thing. You're just selling yourself short. You're cutting out your enjoyment. You're cutting out your fun. You're bringing on that monkey, bringing on the stress. Have the courage to be yourself, flaws and all, whatever that means to you, whether it means going out with your hair not perfect, or if it means, you know, having that conversation that's hard. Have the courage to step up. And what's being reminded to you of this from Sedna is infinite supply. You are supplied for your today and all your tomorrows. Jupiter is still going to be, you know, mixing with the sun, mixing with all this energy. Jupiter is going to be mixing with the full moon in Pisces as well. You are supplied for all your todays and tomorrows. Have the courage to be you, knowing this. I think sometimes we don't have the courage because we're afraid of what's going to be taken away. Anything that's taken away, anything that leaves, wasn't yours to begin with, you know? So it's time to let go and really trust. Trust in your relationship with spirit during this shadow and then retrograde period. Nicole?
Yeah, so what I got for this Libra shadow period, and it's funny because your morality card, it looks like she's in the shadows. And this card is the awareness card that's coming out of the shadows. She's literally coming out of the shadows. If you look at the card, there's a shadow behind her. And so what's going to happen in the shadow period is you're going to start getting awarenesses of, I picked it again, compromise, where you're compromising yourself, where you're compromising your truth. And so as we compromise ourselves, we have stuck ourselves in our shadow. And we can't do that anymore. You have to have an awareness of what you did and take responsibility, and it's all good. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't make you a bad person. It just, now you know better, now you do better. Because the only thing is, when we don't know better, that's when it's okay, because you didn't know better. But once you know better and you don't do better, that's when the karma starts accumulating. That's when the mess starts gunking up. So once you know better, once you have the awareness, start making the necessary steps to stop compromising yourself. The other two cards, which I think is very interesting, that these two came up together, and I've never seen one. I got this deck a few weeks ago, so I've never seen this one particular card before. But this one is the manifest card, and this card is the birthing card. How two linked cards are those, right? Manifesting and birthing. So as we begin to not compromise ourselves and we have new awarenesses of who we really are, we're going to be able to start manifesting a lot faster. Yay! Because you're not compromising yourself anymore. So of course you get new things that come in. Yay! And there's rainbow and there's lots of green. So it's like that Virgo, like Mimi said, the Virgo Jupiter energy. It's like, yes, there's the birthing again. Why do we keep getting birthing cards? Somebody's getting pregnant out there, I have a feeling. We're getting way too much pregnancy stuff. But the birthing card, so you're going to birth something new, which is great. But you can't compromise yourself, or it's going to break that new manifestation apart.
Cool. All right, so we're here to that full moon, super moon, happening at 11:35 a.m. Saturday morning. We'll definitely be feeling that full moon, super moon, seeing it that evening. And I pulled some really interesting cards. So the first card I pulled is completion. And I love this for the full moon in Pisces. You know, the full moon is a completion from the new moon. So it's a completion from the new moon that we just had about 2 weeks ago. It's also a completion from the Pisces new moon that actually happened back in March at the final degree of Pisces. What have you been working through that's coming to a completion from that time back in March? And look at this, put a cap on it. Congratulate yourself for the work that you've done. Besides that, there's some other interesting cards. I pulled the Thunderbolt card, which is basically the Tower card, the Intensity card, and then Innocence. And, you know, with the Thunderbolt and Intensity, you know, full moons, like I said, always a time of really feeling our emotions. It's a time when I say, we get to view the crazy. The full moon shines. She's not hiding anything. We get to see the crazy in ourselves, the crazy in our emotions, the crazy in everything around us. That can be hard. It can be hard to embrace. We're finishing up, Saturn in Scorpio. We just went through a whole bunch of squares with that. The craziness is up. There's some intensity with this. Pisces encourages us forgiveness, compassion, understanding. And I think this is about ourselves. Things may be falling apart with this. As something ends, there may be a little bit of a fall apart. There may be some new beginning stuff. Remember this. This is all part of the process. It's part of the process of life and death. It's part of the process of living. Things need to end, come apart. It's all good. It's all part of your completion of this process. And, there is a spiritual reason underneath this full moon in Pisces. It's very spiritual connected. It's interesting too. It's happening at the 6th degree. And the 6th degree is the degree of relationships. So, for me, it's so funny because this is happening in my 4th house. The 4th house is the house of home for Sagittarius. I'm leaving my home of like the last 7 years. It could be relationships. It could be home. It could be jobs. There's so many things, but it's meant to be completing. So let that go and step with innocence into the new light that it's bringing. Because along with this, every ending begins a new beginning. So keep your innocence, keep your understanding of it. It's all okay. It's all happening for the good. And from the goddesses, Mary Magdalene, unconditional love. Love yourself, others, every situation, no matter what the outward appearance may be. I think that's so beautiful for this Pisces. Hold that compassion. Hold that understanding. And then, meanwhile, Sarasvati came out too. The arts. Express yourself through creative activities. And that's the other side of Pisces. Pisces is a very creative energy. So, through all this, don't let your creativity go by the wayside. I feel like the cards this week is like, yeah, there's going to be a lot of work, but don't forget the arts. Don't forget to play. Remember the fun. Keep your innocence through whatever's going on for you. I know I will hold on to these lessons for me through this week. Nicole?
So the full moon in Pisces. This is always very interesting for me because to me, the Pisces full moon always represents kind of, Pisces, everybody sees that as like close to God, which I see as close to the Divine Father. And I see Virgo as being close to the Divine Mother. And so when I see a full moon happening with these two, they say that it's an opposition, but to me, they're also looking at each other like this. Here's you, here's Earth, here's us, and we're like this, right in the middle. So mama's going like this, and papa's going like this, and they're both saying their point of view. But they can work in harmony if you let them. So this is what I get for this full moon in Pisces. Again, I'm getting a lot of repeat cards. I got the receptivity card. So we have to receive the gifts that we're getting. And I really do think it's the gifts from, this feels very Pisces to me. It's watery. It has this flow to it. And it's like, yeah, God, give me your messages. So listen, meditate during this full moon. See what you need. See what's going on in a deeper way. A deeper guidance. This is the guidance card. And this woman keeps trying to look away from this kind of higher self or this divine angel that's trying to show her where to go. Don't look away, right? That's kind of that Virgo energy. It's like, don't look away. Look at the higher perspective. Look at where you're being guided to. And then the next card is, again, I picked the breakthrough card. So there is an opportunity to have a massive breakthrough. And what Mimi was saying is she's like, I'm feeling that there's a lot to do with relationships. And I do too. I got the union card. So there's going to be a breakthrough probably around your relationships, the way you're relating to people, the way that you're being stuck in relationship, maybe not feeling heard or not whatever, whatever that is, there's going to be a breakthrough in that. And then I got the recognition card. So you're going to be recognized for doing this. So you might get recognized by your partner. Like you finally feel like, oh, you do appreciate me. Thank you. God, that's all I needed. You know, whatever that might be. Or you might be recognized by other people that you finally stood up for yourself, or you finally went with your divine guidance. But whatever that may be, it's something around relationships, and you'll be recognized for it.
Awesome. You know, I forgot during all this relationship stuff too, we're building to Mars and Venus coming together again. They're going to be coming together next Monday. So on next week's GPS, that's going to be doing. But that's still what's happening throughout this week. So all this relationship stuff is really appropriate with that, you know, because Venus really can show us the feminine essence in ourselves, and Mars can show us the masculine. So lots of relationship stuff is up. People are going to be getting in and out of relationships and having babies.
Yeah, and then having a baby, you have a whole nother relationship to everything. Trust me on that one. So, you know, I mean, and it's that, you know, I do feel like that Pisces Virgo full moon is about mother, father, or son, daughter, right? So this could be a sibling thing too. If you're having an issue with a sibling, this might be a really good time to have a conversation with them or hash it out. A good old-fashioned little argument. I do see, I mean, with the breakthrough card and the tower card and the intensity card, I do see that there might be some arguments with this full moon. And to be honest with you, it might be an argument that's been way over freaking due. And the reason why it is an argument, because you both haven't been saying anything, and it's come to a head, and it's like, sounds kind of gross, but it's like, it's one of those things that have been under the skin, and then it's finally out in the surface, and it's like, yeah, it's kind of nasty now. We got to deal with it. You know, a Virgo saying gross things about
physical body processes.
You know what I mean? But but it's one of those things that needs to come to a head. It needs to be processed. It needs to be brought to the surface. It needs to be on reality now, and not this, like, you know, me and Mimi kind of talked about this. You know how you want to have a conversation with somebody and you say it over and over and over again in your head of like how it's going to go? Well, it's time to just have the freaking conversation. Like this full moon's a really good time to just hash that shit out and get over it. Let it go.
Let it go. And meanwhile, anybody who's watching this, feel free to send me good vibes, because that is what I will be doing all of this week. And it's so funny because the full moon, that's the day we're packing up the truck for my house. So, you know, I'm in tune astrologically. It wasn't planned. My Gemini brother planned it. So that may be the argument.
The brothers, the sibling, you know, helping move that along. Yeah.
Yep. It's perfect. All right, so check out, you know, our daily horoscopes. I will be away, but the daily horoscopes will be up. Nicole always posts her daily guidance. It's beautiful. It's on the Gaia Blooming page. You can check her out at NicoleOman.com. Check out GaiaBlooming.com. You know, we also just recently, we've started putting out podcasts. So we're just starting with our Gaia perspective, but you can sign up for the podcast. I'll put that in one of the daily energy blogs that we put out this week. So sign up, and you can listen to that on your car, on your way to work, or, you know, guidance wherever you want. So do you have anything else to say?
No, I think I'm good. Yeah, I think I'm good.
Beautiful. All right. Well, happy full moon. Have a beautiful week, and we'll see you next week. Namaste.
Namaste.